What's good, everybody? It's your man Big Don coming live at you, the True Players Podcast, episode number 30. This episode is about recapping Game of Thrones, episode number 3, The Long Night. And I tell you, this probably, I think, goes down as one of the greatest episodes I've ever seen on television. As far as battles, as far as the episode, the way everything started, a lot of unexpected twists and turns that happened during this episode. Episode starts off with the everybody at Winterfell, Dothraki, the Unsullied, the Vale, the Stark armies, the Mandalay armies, all getting prepared for the battle, or the Mormont armies getting prepared for battle. And then we have an interesting return to the Game of Thrones series, which is the Red Woman, Melisandre. And I tell you, it was a shock to everybody that it wasn't a shock because she was meant to be at this battle, but what she did to help win the Battle of Winterfell was first, she attempted to give the Dothraki flaming swords, or their flaming weapons, and at first, Jorah Mormont did not trust her, but he finally tell them to raise their swords, and she let the swords on fire. And finally gave the episode a little light in the series and things like that. And once it seemed like they got a lot of motivation to go in battle, and so Jorah Mormont, as well as the Dothraki started the siege, raced towards the White Walkers. Lo and behold, there was a cloud of icy cloud that went around them, and to my shock, and many of you guys' shock who watched the episode, the Dothraki went down in one fell swoop. And I thought this was the key to beating the Night King, because these Dothrakis are savages. They like to fight, they like to kill people. So, I didn't think that he was going to swipe him out that easy, but that was probably his strategy, because you got to take away the most savage fighters away from the battle, and they did that one full swoop, as if they came around him like a circle, like they did against Stannis when he was trying to battle the Bones for Winterfell. They did the same thing. They tried to do the same thing to Jon and his forces for the Battle of the Bastards. I believe they did the same thing against the Dothraki, which they were completely taken out. The lights went out. There was no more yelling, screaming, none of that stuff. And much of the shock to the rest of the armies, such as the Unsullied and the Vale, the Mandalays, the Starks, the rest of the army, I could see they lost a little faith when all the Dothraki was taken out. In that swoop, Dothraki was taken out. You only see a few Dothraki returning, along with Jorah Mormont. But one key here is that I want to know if Ghost, Jon's direwolf, survived, and that we don't know as of yet. As you can see, the shock and horror of everyone at the episode is pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. All you see is horses. People start to lose their nerve. People started crying. People wanted to run. Sam was scared, in which he had no business being in the battle. Anyway, he should be in the crypts. I know he's trying to be tough for Gilly and his son, but he should have been in the crypts with them. He's not prepared for this type of battle. This was a rough battle. And then Jon tells Daenerys, listen, the dead are coming, and Daenerys said, listen, the dead is here. And she forcefully removed his hand off her arm, and they went to go ride their dragons off to battle. And then you see the rush of the White Walkers coming through hard. So the people in the Vale were scared, getting ready to tear up and stuff like that. But as the battle ensued, there was a lot of battles going on all at once. Arya tells Sansa to go back into the crypts. This is not a battle for you, which is Sansa was like, oh, I don't know how to use this dragon glass. And Arya told Sansa, stick with the pointy end. So the battle ensued. But it looked like they were going to lose the battle because those White Walkers was coming quick and fast. And thankfully if it was for the Unsullied and the guild and the what was that, the trough that they built in front of the castles, they would have been beaten and destroyed. It looked like they would lose. They looked like they were losing the battle, and much of the when the battle got too rough for them, the force had to retreat back into Winterfell, back into the behind the wall and stuff like that. So Tormund, you see Tormund battling and stuff like that. You know, some guys was actually running away, and Jamie held his own throughout the battle with his one arm, and Beric Dondarrion and stuff like that. And then when the fire got a little bit crazy, you see the Hound, you know, moving away from the battle, getting scared because of the fire, you know. And then the dragons came and saved the day early in the battle, but they also were trying to go after the Night King and his main lieutenants, and they both engulfed in an icy cloud as well, in which during the flight, Jon and Daenerys bump into each other midair, in which both of them almost fell off the dragons and things like that. So this was a great battle. Like I said, a lot of twists and turns in the battle. So give me a brief moment. I'll get back to you in a few seconds. I'm gonna pause this. Yes, guys, I'm back again. Like I said, the battle was going wild. Jorah's riding around with the horse, using Heartsbane to take care of the White Walkers. It was a tough battle, action packed. And then we see Arya's skills on the wall of Winterfell, using her staff that Genji made for her with the dragon glass. Podrick is doing his thing and things like that. And most important thing, Clegane, you know, got scared. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he got scared about the fire, and he was like, "Oh, we're losing. It's dead." And then it came to a point that Arya was in danger. And Clegane, you know, snapped out of it and go help Arya. But before that happened, you see Sam. You know, like I said, Sam was like a, you know, weakness, and because of his he was scared, and he's not a fighter. Dolorous Ed was killed. You know, he was killed trying to help Sam, and by the White Walker, and that was crazy. I like Ed. Ed was one of my guys though. But yeah, Sam was running like a little bitch. You know what I'm saying? As Sansa goes into the crypts, and she has some her Tyrion's watching over her as well as other people in the crypts as well. Hopefully they were safe and sound for a little bit. And then we have other scene in which, like I said, Arya's fighting on the walls of Winterfell, and it was funny when they light the trenches. Daenerys was supposed to light the trenches with the dragons, but she wasn't able to because of the heavy cold cloud that was created by the White Walkers and the Night King. So Melisandre then goes back out into the field. We stepped up the wall, and then she lit the trenches around Winterfell. And I kid you not, that just brightened up the whole episode, the fire all around. Because as you could see, it was a very dark episode. If I had any complaints about the episode, that would be the only complaint. That was too dark. You couldn't really see anything. Even if it was a night scene, you should be able to at least see what was going on. So they're battling, and you see Beric. You know, the White Walkers was chasing Arya around. I don't know if it was the crypts or it was in one of the libraries of Winterfell, but she was doing her skills as a faceless man really helped her throughout the entire of this battle. Helped her tremendously, and helped her out tremendously. As you see Tormund calling everybody to turn back. So it's Brienne. That it was fast Heavy, and you see Lyanna Mormont, the little bear, I call her. She did her thing. She did die in this episode, but she was killed by a giant that was like 10 times her height. You know what I'm saying? But she took down the giant with her last breath. She stabbed the giant with her dragon glass dagger, and she killed the giant as she was dying. Shout out to her. She's a little tough little thing. Shout out to her. A lot of deaths happened in this episode. And like I said, and what changed the tide of the battle was, for me, I thought one of the things that changed the tide of the battle was when Melisandre asked Arya, "What do we say about death?" And then Arya's like, "Not today." It was one of those things that she learned from Syrio Forel, as well as from the Faceless Man, Jacob Haggard. And she just, from that point, from the moment she said that, Arya just shifted into her Faceless Man persona, and she became stealth. She was stealth earlier in the battle, but she became stealth even more. And as you can see, as they try to get the Bran and the Goswood, Jon was trying to get to Bran, and they encountered the Night King riding Viserion. And in this battle, I thought Jon was going to die, though. I was like, damn, please don't let Jon die. Not like this. But to make a long story short, Viserion, ridden by Night King, killed Rhaegal. Rhaegal's dead. You know what I'm saying? The dragon. And then Jon fell to the ground, and he was trying to get to the Godswood where Bran was. And thanks to Daenerys, she was able to knock off the Night King off Viserion. So they're both on the grounds walking. Night King was walking towards Bran, and Jon is trying to follow him behind. And lo and behold, when Jon was getting close, the Night King turns around and raises his hands, and all the people who were newly killed or dead rose up. Everybody around. Well, the dead Dothrakis rose up, the dead Unsullied rose up, all the dead soldiers rose up. And much to the shock, and it shocked Jaime though, because Jaime's eyes just opened up like to see. He's like, what the fuck is this shit? He's like, are you fucking serious? You can see in his facial expression, like, well, are you serious? So the Night King raises up the new dead, and lo and behold, Jon is trying to, be a hero again, trying to still go after, try to fight all those whites down himself. That's Jon. That's just Jon for you, trying to be the hero and stuff. But the one thing that was kind of equivalent to me in this battle, equivalent to the battle of Infinity Wars and Avengers, was the point where the trench was lit with fire, and you saw some of the whites trying to sacrifice themselves to create a path so the White Walkers could get to the wall of Winterfell. It was very, very similar to the battle at Wakanda between Thanos and the Avengers. Very similar. And they finally got through, And the battle was fast and heavy inside Winterfell as the archers were trying to keep getting higher and higher at the walls of Winterfell. The White Walkers broke into the crypts, started killing some of the women and children in the crypts. And the thing is that Arya did the battle, and also, I'm sorry, I'm getting a blur, guys. And Jon is hit. Now, Jon was stuck in the courtyard between him, the dead, and the Viserion trying to kill him. And the one important part of the story with Daenerys is also knocked off of Drogon because all the whites got on top of her in the courtyard of Winterfell before Jon left to go after Bran. And I thought for sure she was also going to die too, because she fell off her Drogon, and she has no fighting skills. She doesn't know how to ride a dragon and say Dracarys. And I thought she was going to die. Then lo and behold, Jorah Mormont comes and saves her.